Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have more people super bullish about XRP. We got news about that today. XLM is getting, Stellar is getting fantastic publicity. This is what I wanted, Stellar. This is what I wanted. But we'll get to that in a later chapter. Things are looking good today. I know the market was a little bit bloody, but I'm talking about overall long-term things are looking good, in my humble opinion. I'm very excited again. So it's not always like that, folks. Let's begin here. This article says Bitcoin elite trader says XRP, Bitcoin elite trader. Another Bitcoinist. Let's find out what's going on. That's significant. Why all the Bitcoin people all of a sudden they're very bullish on XRP? See, they're money makers. They know how to make money. This tells you a lot. Bitcoin elite trader says XRP is the next shining bull after investing $500,000. Do you believe that a Bitcoin elite trader would invest $500,000 if they didn't think that it was going up? Dang, they sound about as bullish as I am. I'm gonna tell you right now, yeah, and I'm expecting big things out of XRP in the future. Big things. Well, a few hurdles to get over first, but once we get over those hurdles, and listen, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to feel how I feel. I only represent myself, but I'm expecting big things and exciting times ahead for XRP. Standalone too. I'm expecting XRP to break away from Bitcoin, but we'll see. We'll see. A prominent Bitcoin trader has proclaimed XRP the forthcoming star asset of the current bull market after investing $500,000 in the asset. A Bitcoin trader using the username, quote, Dr. Profit. Oh, Dr. Profit is back. So this is not a new individual, but it seems that Dr. Profit went a little bit deeper since the last time we heard from Dr. Profit. This was about maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Dr. Profit obviously has gotten even more bullish on XRP, which leads one to wonder and consider, what does Dr. Profit know that everyone else doesn't know? You see that? What made Dr. Profit go even deeper on XRP? Obviously, Dr. Profit learned something. Wise individual. Listen, this is what people don't get. These individuals have advisors, high-paid advisors, financial advisors get a lot of money. The ones who are good, they're on standby waiting for hand you information. And they get in your ear and they say, wait, we found something. They have a lot of inside connections. They feed you information. I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm just saying there's a high possibility this individual got some inside information on something that was uncovered, possibly, that made this individual super bullish. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that didn't happen. Okay, I'll consider both possibilities. All right, I'm not all in on one or the other. I consider things, right? I don't have a one-dimensional mind. But let's keep going on here. It says, unquote, on X has explicitly designated XRP as the next shining bull, not Ethereum, not anything else. I hold a lot of other stuff. I don't hold Ethereum, so I don't care about it at all. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I have a lot of other things. Solana, Chainlink, XLM. I could keep going. Quant, you know, the usual suspects. But he said, no. After Bitcoin, it's not Ethereum. It's XRP. And that's what I like to hear. Yes, it says he designated XRP as the next shining bull. He even outlined a timeline for realizing his prediction. Oh, wait. Whoa, this is pretty bold, Dr. Profit. Shout out to you, though. Shout out to Dr. Profit. This is what Dr. Profit says. This is this person's prediction, not Alphaneem's. Dr. Profit says next shining bull is XRP. Bought 500K recently. See you in 30 to 60 days. Whoa. All right, so they're super bullish. You let me know how you feel about XRP down in the comment section if you see fit. If you like this video so far, please smash that like button. I would appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And we're on the march. We continue on to 100,000 subscribers. We're on the march there. We're crawling across the hot desert sands of hell to get to 100,000 subscribers one day. One day when I have gray hair, all my hair is gray, and I have no hair left, we'll be at 100,000 by that time, maybe. All right, it's a good day today, folks. Man, I squeeze the sponge dry when there's good moments. I tell you, I really appreciate good moments is what it means. Let's get on to some stellar news. Now, this is what I wanted to see, stellar. This is what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know if all of these websites are just it's hot news, so they're just covering it. But you know why I don't think that, stellar enthusiast? Because there's been a lot of hot news that came out of Stellar the last 2 years, and yet a lot of big websites didn't pick it up. But this time, for some reason, with this Soroban release, now that Stellar has unleashed the beast, they know how powerful this is about to be. They know those big companies Stellar is a part of, connected to Wisdom Tree, Franklin Templeton, United Nations, various banks, from the banks in the Ukraine to CC Bank. I could keep going. They know the ties Stellar has in Africa. They know Bank of International Settlements is using Stellar for their green bonds. They know all of this. They know all of that. Maybe it's that. But this time, I'm seeing so many articles written on Soroban, written about the smart contracts, written about the capabilities, the implications of it. I've never seen anything like this. Not in a long time. For Stellar. So finally, it's getting the publicity that it deserves. That's what I'm talking about, folks. This is all I was asking for, Stellar. Get that publicity out there. Let the people know. I'm seeing medium-sized websites write about it, little websites write about it, big websites write about it. They were the first. Let's be real. The big ones were the first. Saw those the other day. But you have articles like this here on blockworks.co, right? And I even saw Stellar post some links to articles from certain websites. So, I mean, listen, Stellar's time is coming. That's just my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with that. I am a Stellar enthusiast. You don't have to be. I hold XLM. You don't have to hold XLM. You get what I'm saying? Get where I'm going? All right. I'm just an enthusiast. And I want to make a pretty penny off of XLM. But not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It says this: Stellar Spark smart contract upgrade, and it's not an EVM. A bespoke smart contract layer Soroban is online after years of development. So it's a very good article. We don't have to go deep with it. We all know. I just wanted to point out that Stellar's getting a lot of publicity right now. It's getting a lot of eyes on it right now. And this is what we want. Can that continue? That's what I want to know. Will they continue this push? How many different big events may pop up out of this deployment? How many companies were lined up waiting to use it and now building on it? I saw somebody said that they already had wrapped XLM and already used it. You see that? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, more utility, more use of XLM. That's not even taking into account the myriad of different ways, which you can read about on stellar.org, that Soroban uses XLM. It uses XLM in a lot of different ways. So if we can really get these smart contracts revved up, everybody using them, this could be huge. Of course, I don't expect it to happen overnight. I'm not that type of person. I'm trying to be as logical as possible, but this is huge. And I'm very excited. And keep the publicity coming, Stellar. Keep your connections with these outlets that are writing about Soroban and keep the activities up. Good job, though. Good job. All right. So is there one thing I want to say about this before we close out this little XLM chapter, then we'll get back to XRP news. At the bottom of this here, it says something about Stellar made a name for itself through its native stable coins, including USDC and a partnership with MoneyGram. Listen, no, I'm not going to allow you to say that. I can't. When I see something false like this, my mind doesn't allow me to just overlook it. Stellar made a name for itself through XLM. The communities that Stellar has, the Stellar community, is excited about XLM. And there's a lot of people also, they love SHX from Stronghold, which Stronghold is a fantastic company. We reported on Stronghold last year a lot of times. We reported on Stronghold when they were doing their stablecoin with IBM and all that. Remember that way back when? The videos are still up. So we've always known about Stronghold over here, Velo, all these different companies. We covered all of them. We just don't do it as much now. Times change. We have to move forward, right? So some people are bullish on that as well. But Stellar made its name off of XLM. People are excited about XLM. People are holding vast amounts of XLM. XLM funded everything that they do when they liquidate their XLM and bring in these companies. So I find it disrespectful to the communities for you to say that Stellar made its name through stable coins. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Everything was made possible through XLM and the people who believe in XLM. So let's just get that straight. And Stellar will always be known for XLM primarily, no matter what they say, no matter what they do. The Stellar blockchain, period, is synonymous with XLM. That's what makes everything work, everything happen. They will be nothing without XLM. So I just want to put that out there. So now let's move on here to a little bit more of XRP related news. So this article here says Ripple would certainly welcome an XRP ETF. This is directly from Brad Garlinghouse himself. It says here, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said that, quote, it only makes sense, unquote, to have different ETFs as investors would want to diversify the risks. So Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, said in an interview with Bloomberg that the company would, quote, welcome, unquote, an exchange traded fund ETF based on the XRP token. On February the 20th, Garlinghouse shared the company's stance on a potential XRP ETF, which has been that's been hot news as of late. The CEO highlighted that they quote, would certainly welcome it, unquote. The executive also said that it is inevitable that there will be multiple ETFs around different tokens. Well, the way they led me to believe it, and a lot of these articles today were written about this statement here, was that he was saying that it's inevitable that XRP would get one. That's what they sort of led me to believe. But I do believe XRP will get one. It has the most clarity. I don't see why it wouldn't. Not that I hinge anything on an ETF. I don't care about ETF at all. I care about Ripple winning that SEC case, finally closing that out, making big announcements about banks, bringing in tons of more banks, and let's get that system rolling. That's where my mind primarily is when it comes to XRP. All right. And United States domination. It begins there. Everything else filters out from there. And what the U.S. does and what the U.S. accepts, the rest of the world tends to do as well. So if the U.S. does something, you usually will see it in Europe. You saw this with the interest rates from the Fed. The Fed did certain things with the interest rates, raised them up. Then you saw Europe do it. You saw a lot of other countries do it as well. Right. All right. So it says, furthermore, Garlinghouse also predicted that the space would see ETFs around baskets, which the executive believes will, quote, diversify the risks, unquote, for investors. I think that's an easy call. That's a very easy call. And I agree with that. Yes. The CEO said that, quote, it only makes sense, unquote, to have other ETFs. He compared this current situation with the spot Bitcoin ETFs to the early days of the stock market. I agree with that as well. Garlinghouse believes that investors do not want to be exposed to a single stock only, but want to diversify their investments. That I will disagree with. I'll say this. Just having interacted with a lot of people over this last few years, there's very few that are highly diversified. I think a lot of people, from my interactions, I'm just telling you, they only have, when it comes to crypto, they only have one crypto. They believe in one crypto. At least this is what they lead me to believe. And there's very few that have multiple, are very diversified. And even beyond crypto, there's very few people that are diversified with some crypto, some stocks, some commodities, other things, fine art collection, so diversification is something that I believe the crypto sphere still, for the most part, has to get familiar with and get more comfortable with. All right. So now let's move on here. And I understand there's a lot of reasons for that. So now let's move on to another article here. OK, I don't want to linger on that one for too long. Now, this article here is titled X Ripple, because you had Brad Garlinghouse. Now you have this person. X Ripple director gives timeline for XRP ETF and Ripple IPO. There's a lot of people making these predictions lately, from price predictions. I've seen more price predictions than ever before. I just haven't reported on a lot of them. and more timeline. That's the thing that really sticks out. There's more timeline predictions than I've ever seen before. I don't know why that is, but I'm just taking note of it. So this person has a timeline. Let's find out what it is and see if it comes true. You know, people are going to hold this person's feet to the fire if it doesn't happen. You do know that, right? I don't know why people jump out the window like that and make these predictions. Because the crypto community is definitely going to let them hear about it if it doesn't happen. 100%. It says a former director at Ripple has issued a timeline for when the crypto community can expect an XRP exchange traded fund and Ripple's initial public offering. It says speculated date for XRP ETF. Sean McBride, so you have a name, all right, not anonymous or any of that stuff. Sean McBride, formerly Ripple's director of global talent acquisition, has taken to X to issue dates for the two most highly expected developments in the XRP community, an XRP spot ETF and the Ripple IPO. McBride argued that the community would see the emergence of a genuine XRP ETF early, either this year or 2025. So there you have it. He's saying this year or 2025. I'll take either one. Either one is good. Either one's good. I want it to happen quickly, though. Quicker, though. You know, you never know what's going to happen in life. We don't have time to just sit around waiting around. You don't know what. Get my drift. You don't know what's going to happen. So I would love for things to happen a little quicker. But I know in this world, things just don't most of the time. It drags on. It says, however, he specified no factors that may have formed the foundation of his timeline. Yeah, so then why are you saying it? I don't understand that. If you don't have anything you're basing it on, I mean, you could just say something, but then why? I don't believe it. I don't believe that he doesn't have a reason. I believe he can't say the reason. I believe he heard something. He heard something. Listen, all of these people who are these directors, CEOs, COOs, sure, they start out at first, they really don't have a lot of connections, but over time they build a lot of connections. And so you hear things behind the scenes. I remember being in certain industries. I'll keep it a little bit opaque and vague, but I remember being in certain industries and this person was going to, let's say, this person was going to fight this other person, right? But it was just a thought. Their teams were talking, right? And so, you know, I'm just relaxing with certain individuals and, you know, I'm just kicking it with them. And they're like, hey, you know, Mick, what do you think about this or this opponent or that opponent and such like that? And I'm like, well, why are you asking me this? They're like, well, you know, I'm thinking about taking this fight. Not that my opinion really mean anything. They got a whole team. They have family behind them. You know, that's how a lot of fighters are. They got family behind them. Their freaking trainer is basically like their father. So, but you know, you relaxing with people. You just talk sometimes. And so come to find out, a couple months later, those fights were signed. There's fights that happened within the last 2 years that you people wouldn't even believe it. Those fights were spoken about. I'm not kidding, folks. See, I knew people when they were younger before they became who they are today. So it was a different time back then. OK, those fights were spoken about that happened within the last 2 years. They were spoken about like maybe 8 years ago. Yeah. But it didn't happen back then. They let it simmer. They let it build. That's on purpose. Anyway, see, I'm getting off of crypto now. But people out there, they know. The people that have been around, they know how it works. So anyway, the point of that is these people talk to each other. They make plans and stuff, but they don't let the public know. So they get excited. They want to say something but they can't unveil it fully for a lot of different reasons, right? But they want to share a little bit. I would caution against doing such things because you're sort of violating the trust of whoever let you know something, unless they absolutely told you like, hey, you can put this out. You're violating the trust. And then I got to say, I will look at those individuals with a side eye also like, hey, that person told you that in confidence. Why would you put that out to the public? But some people don't care. I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm just saying that happens a lot. All right. So anyway, moving on from that article there. So 2025, let's see if it happens. Let's move on here. We have one more person calling for an altcoin season. And I can see why. You have Bitcoin down a little bit today. A lot of things were red today. And there's been a lot of profit taking off of Bitcoin as of late. But that liquidity hasn't hasn't yet begun to flow out into the altcoins. Altcoins just been coiling up, consolidating. And yeah, a lot of them look like they're poised for an explosion. I can be honest with that. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Just my humble opinion. It's not financial advice either. Okay. But they look like they're ready to explode. I can see that. And I said this before. Remember I said this if you did watch those videos. I said, I think that everything will explode once Bitcoin gets to like 55,000, 56,000. It has to be around there or north of it. I think there's not a lot of comfort right now. I think that's where people get comfortable enough for that liquidity to start flowing into other coins and such. Right now, people are hoarding and holding that liquidity. They're holding those gains. That's how I look at it, but I could be wrong. It says a crypto strategist who nailed the end of Bitcoin's 2021 bull market thinks that a huge upswing for the altcoin market is just getting started. Pseudonymous analyst Pentoshi tells his 755,000 followers on social media platform X that he's keeping a close eye on the Total 3 chart, which tracks the market cap of all digital assets, excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins. According to the crypto analyst, he sees the market cap of all altcoins meteorically rising over 264% from its current level of about $548 billion. This is quote, yeah, this is a quote from him. Yeah, we haven't seen anything yet. We could see this potentially when it's all said and done. This cycle hit a couple $1 trillion. We aren't even close to new highs yet. True. But we are seeing the winners of this cycle, which should, in theory, have far, far more upside. So that's very interesting right there. It says the analyst highlights that the recent bullish moves in crypto markets have mostly been focused on Bitcoin, and a true altcoin season has yet to manifest. Quote, he says, bros, you realize that if you look at the total altcoin market cap, we haven't even had this cycle's alt season, and the best performers will remain the best performers, unquote. Speaking of the best performers, Pentoshi names 2 crypto subsectors that he thinks will outpace the market. Of course, AI is in there, and then gaming also. All right, AI is going to just do good in everywhere across the board. In any part of the financial industry, crypto, stocks, AI is going to do great. I'm more interested in AI, just using it for business and making money and making life business easier, which makes life easier. But if you want to know more about that, then you can go ahead to my other channel, Mick Alphanim, the Mick Alphanim channel over there. We're covering a lot of stuff on AI. AI is going insane right now, but we'll talk about that more another time. Let's close out here. Let's see what article we want to close out with. I have a Flare Network article here. I have a Cardano article here. You know what? We'll close out with the Cardano article because I think it's much more serious and impactful. This article is titled Cardano founder Hoskinson thinks ETHgate is real. Whoa. It says during a recent Ask Me Anything session, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson suggested that ETHgate could be real. He says, quote, I never once said that ETHgate didn't happen, unquote, he remarked. Wow. Bombshell. Hoskinson stated that it is possible that someone from Ethereum might have bribed certain officials at the SEC to give ETH a pass. Whoa, that's a heck of a powerful statement. Now, listen, sure, anybody could say that. Anybody could say, yeah, it's possible. That's just reality, that it's possible that it could happen. But because it's Hoskinson, it's who is saying it. You know, if you and I are just sitting around saying it, it doesn't mean anything. But Hoskinson is saying this out in the public, knowing that powerful ears and eyes are listening to his words and asking, why would you say that, sir? It has nothing to do with you. Why would you say that? So, I mean, listen, Ethereum is a competitor, so people like to take each other down. You saw the dirty moves, in my humble opinion, that Circle made against Tether recently. I thought that was very dirty. They tried to ask the U.S. government to go after Tether. If the U.S. government hasn't made that decision themselves, why would you as a company try to tear down this other company? Focus on your company. That's how you want to eliminate the competition, by being dirty? I don't know, folks. I'm just different. I'm more honorable than that. But now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.